Good Sunday evening, high school sports fans. Joe Gillaway with Linglestown Gazette Sports live from the Orchard Street studio. And this is our high school football week 3 recap show. I'll be joined by our panel of experts momentarily as soon as we're done thanking those responsible for bringing you today's show. Our Linglestown Gazette Sports Platinum sponsors, and they are Rickaba's Electric, Payor Apparel, Ted's Bar and Grill, Freedom Financial Wealth Management, Tonino's Pizza, Crystal Bob at Howard Hanna Real Estate, Team PA AAU Basketball, Sam Hartley Decking, American Legion, Post 272, Hoffman Ford, The Tire Mart, Modern Imprint, Capital Region Insurance Agency, and Underdog Sports Bar and Grill. Thank you to those great local businesses for their continued support of Linglestown Gazette Sports and our area student athletes. Some upcoming shows. I've been busy booking some shows here. This coming Thursday, I have 4 of the East High football players coming on, and we're going to be talking about East High football here in just a bit. We're excited for them, and it seems like the community is excited for East High football. They're 3-0. Then I have some the captains of the the Central Dauphin girls soccer team, state champions 2 years ago. They're out to a great 4-0 start. So I'm going to be bringing in 3 of the Central Dauphin girls soccer players. Jim Deibler and Mickey Minnick. We're going to talk to some legends on Tuesday, the 24th. And the last thing we're working on right now, I've been in contact with Cal Everett from Harrisburg, and we're just trying to iron out a day for some of his guys to come on the show too. So we're busy. We got a lot of stuff going on. And of course, every Sunday night we'll be doing this at 6 o'clock, unless we have to change the time. But generally speaking, it'll be Sunday night at 6, a high school football recap show. And joining us tonight are Terry Clark Jr., Ben Dupree, and the voice of Delco, Dave Berman. Welcome, guys. Always appreciate having you. And
the voice of Chester High football.
Moral victories.
Yeah, I'm sure you got a lot to say about that.
I'm sorry, Dave. I should have mentioned that. Yeah. No, you're the Chester High, or you're the Chester guy. So
well, hard to believe it's my 10th year as public address announcer for Chester High. That's why I can't do many Cougar games over the years. I did their game with LaSalle earlier this year, and then my fourth year coach.
That's good. That's good that Chester got the football rolling. They've been basketball for years.
Yep.
They've got to be good.
Kind of shifting the gear a little bit.
They have to be. You can't take Imhotep that late in the game. They had a lead until, I don't know, we'll talk about it in a little bit, but they had a lead in the fourth quarter. And we know Imhotep's very good.
Absolutely.
So we're going to start with Harrisburg State College. And I know this is the 3rd week in a row we started with Harrisburg, but guess what? They're a good team. They're the defending District 3 champions in 6A, and they've had 3 really big games: LaSalle College, Bishop McDevitt, and now State College. But we are going to kind of our co-lead-in game will be East High and Cedar Cliff. So they're going to share the attention here before we get into around the state and around the district and all that. So Harrisburg 7, State College 6. I thought it was just kind of an old-fashioned throwdown, you know. It was what it looks like it was, and it was a 7-6 game, and it went down to the wire, and Harrisburg won because they blocked a field goal and intercepted a pass all down the stretch. That's why they won the game. I mean, had they not intercepted the pass, they may have still been able to stop State College. So, but it was the blocked field goal. What did you guys think of that game? Terry, I know you watched it. Ben, did you watch that game at all?
Yeah, I watched the whole game, the entire game, and what I got from it was State College. It's crazy. Usually the team that's able to run and stop the run wins, and they were able to run and stop the run, but they lost. They couldn't punch it in the red zone.
What a great point.
Yeah.
And then as far as the blocked field goal, I think it was Elias Coco got his hands on it.
Yep.
He played. That was a game changer. And also his punts are also he's been doing very well with his punting as well, even against McDevitt. So those
he's averaging
plays. Go ahead.
I think he averaged about 35 and a half yards a punt, and that's very good for a
That's a
high school
lot.
punter
That's a lot.
who's
That's a lot.
who's not really a punter. Let's face it. Usually you'll see like your State College and your Wilson and your Central Dauphin. They'll have like actual punters. We lost Ben. He'll get back on. But Harrisburg just has a all-state wide receiver who's punting and doing a really good job, huh, Terry?
Yes, sir. And let me let you in on a secret. You know,
Okay.
his older cousin is former great punter from CD East that played at Purdue, Cody Webster.
Okay.
So it runs in the family. Like, so I'm not really surprised as far as like the punting, as far as Elias. But it's definitely coming together in his junior year.
I kind of thought that Jayon Lewis, Harrisburg's quarterback, Jayon Lewis, outplayed Eddie Corkery. And Corkery is at least a second-year starter for State College. He's a pretty sound quarterback. I mean, he does a great job, but I thought Lewis outplayed him.
Well, Jayon, he put together one good drive, and at the end of the first half, they got him the touchdown that ultimately won him the game. But he also put together 2 good drives late in the game, but they both resulted in fumbles, I believe.
Yep.
So yeah, the stats weren't there, but he got it done. He did it just enough to win. And again, he didn't throw any interceptions.
I think Corkery had 2 interceptions.
Yeah. Yep. And speaking of State College quarterback, I thought outside of the turnovers, I thought he played a pretty solid game.
Oh, he's good. He's good.
Yeah, he was actually a lot better than I gave him credit coming into the game. So I was pretty impressed with him. I'm not gonna lie. But at the end of the day, Harrisburg proved that they can win any style of game. If it's going to be a defensive game,
right here,
they can do it.
The dark side defense.
They can do it. Yep.
Yeah, I want to thank
Bar.
If their offense can't score, their defense is going, do what they need to do. Special teams is going to do what they need to do to seal the W.
Yeah, they gave up 45 and 33 points in the first 2 games. What's that? That's like almost 80 points. And sometimes that's just the way games go, okay? That doesn't mean you have a bad defense. Sometimes one team scores, another team scores, and that's just the path you go down on a certain game, right?
Yeah, yeah. And they also played 2 really good offenses, and Bishop McDevitt and LaSalle.
That's a great point, yeah.
There's that too.
How about this one, guys? I thought that Mickens scored right up before the half on that kind of an underneath reception, I thought that State College was way too far back in the prevent. They had 2 guys that were giving Mickens a cushion. They just gave him too much of a cushion. Did you guys notice that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ben.
What I was gonna say is, I'm sure the Coach Cal and them, they probably noticed it. Like, they probably noticed something for him to be that wide open. They saw something for them to call that play for sure.
I think you have to play a prevent. There's a lot of people. You guys are all sports fans. You're all football fans. You hear a lot of average football fans going, you got to get out of that prevent. There's prevents no, the prevents are there for a reason. I think they just kind of gave him too much of a cushion, and he's an athlete. Once he got his hands on the ball, he had enough space to make a move or two and to get in. And I don't want to call it easy, but they kind of made it easier than it should have been for Mickens, I thought.
Yeah. And I think that goes to sort of like their overall game plan. Unfortunately, in that particular time, they didn't adjust. But from what it seemed like, they came into the game like very confident that they could stop the run. Like, they were confident that they could. And then the next thing was like, don't give up any big plays. We seen in McDevitt field, McDevitt got killed on the big plays.
Right.
State College was like, we can't give up big plays, so we're gonna play prevent defense in the back half. And that led to the Mickens touchdown. I mean, it was there. It was a good call.
How good is Harrisburg under Cal Everett? There have been times in years past, and Dave, you were around for these years past, years ago. How good is Harrisburg at just kind of keeping their heads up and staying focused on what's directly in front of them? The play that's directly in front of them. All right, we just gave up a big fumble, or we just had a big personal, dumb penalty, or whatever it is. They're able to snap out of that, man, and really kind of regroup. Yeah. You guys see that out of them?
Yeah, I do. We've seen it over the past since I've been watching for the past 5 to 6 years, where like it's never over till it's over.
Right.
Like if you're not up by at least 17 in the fourth quarter, it's not over. Like and
They
I've
don't give
noticed
up,
that
man.
over the past five
Right,
6 years. That
right. That's
the game's
that's
within two
why.
scores in the fourth quarter is still not over. But that's the
Right.
sign of a good team. There's other teams in the area that have shown that they can do that. But Harrisburg has been doing it for like a long time now. So everybody knows that's why people saying they're the top team around here until somebody knocks them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Good chance that State College and Harrisburg could meet again in the PIAA state
Dave,
tournament.
I was just going to bring you
yep,
in here
yep.
and ask you
And
about.
also,
Dave knows the brackets very well.
Yeah,
a game that I announced 3 years ago, state quarterfinal game at legendary Severance Field, 2021. State College won the game with the last second
Low
field goal.
scoring game, right? What was
no
the score
scoring
of
game.
that? That was low
Ooh, I think that
scoring.
was 17-14.
Yep.
Yeah, something like that.
State College likes to play those low scoring games.
Right.
And
You
then they
know,
went to the state semi. State College lost to Mount Lebanon, and who just beat them up pretty good. And then Mount Lebanon beat up St. Joe's Prep pretty
Yep.
good.
Yep.
I have to shout out this Michael Gall from State College. He's really good.
Yeah,
Gall, I think
yeah,
number
he's a
10.
player. He's a player.
Woo! Didn't have like gobs of yards. He had 20 carries for 79 yards, but they were a tough 79 yards. He had a fumble recovery, a big fumble recovery on that strip late in the game. It was maybe midway through the fourth quarter. I don't remember exactly. And he played great defense. I mean, that's a player right there.
Yeah, I thought he actually played better on defense, and I want to shout out to their defense because they really stopped the run yesterday for
Yeah,
the
they
most
did.
part.
And
Matt
like,
Linthal has done an unbelievable job with that program, guys.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like you can't never count State College out. No matter what. They always year after year after year, they always produce a solid team. Even when you think they might be down, they have something.
mhm,
They have
right.
something.
And I think the last thing I want to mention about the Harrisburg, I had lunch probably 4 or 5 weeks ago with some PIAA football officials, and the one guy was a veteran. He's been around for years, and he said that Cal Everett, this is his 14th season, and this official said that he's been assigned to Harrisburg games many times over those 14 years. He said not once has he had to approach the Harrisburg bench in 14 years. And for those at home, approaching the bench means either a player's kind of getting a little bit out of line, or one of the coaches maybe. And he said he's never had to do it. So for those people who think, Harrisburg's undisciplined and they're loose cannons when they're down, no, they're not. This is a whole different Harrisburg era for football. Don't you think so, Terry?
Yeah, absolutely. And that just goes to show the type of man and coach that Coach Cal is. I mean, he's built a strong culture there. I mean,
Yeah.
The culture is set. Everyone that comes in the program, they know what it is. He makes it clear from day one,
Mhm.
and everyone buys into it.
Yeah. I mean, if that official says that says a lot. That says it all, really. He's like, I don't have to worry about them. He's like, he takes care of his own guys,
Yep.
So let's move on to Central Dauphin East 28, or East High, as they prefer to be referred. 28, Cedar Cliff 27. Big game for East, big win for East. I don't think that Cedar Cliff's probably an upper echelon team in the Commonwealth. They probably aren't, but still, East is 3-0 for the first time in 7 years. The last time they were 7-0 was 2017-2018 season. And that year they had only beaten Milton, Hershey, Lower Dauphin, and Susquehanna Townships. They had kind of a softer Ben with respect. Okay. They weren't playing the same kind of teams as they are beating this year. So Lance Dean and his guys, they're playing some good ball. You guys have a chance to watch that game at all?
Yeah, I checked the game out. First, I want to say shout out to Coach Dean. He's doing an excellent job over there. The guys, similar to Coach Cal, they're buying in. He's established a culture there, and they're buying into what he's saying. On that note, that was the first time that we got to see, no offense to the two teams that CDEs played, but a team that actually pushed them. So I think that played a role in the game being as close as what it was, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, CD East is going to take it because a win's a win.
Right. There's no doubt about it. And Coach Lance Dean was clear about that. I'm his friend on Facebook, and I'm sure you saw the post. We're 1-0 again.
Yep.
You know, they're taking it a game at a time. Ben, you played football at a very high level. You're not playing week 7 games, even in your mind, when it's week 3, right? You got to play the team that's right ahead of you.
Can't hear you, Ben.
We can't hear you, Ben. All right, we're going to bring Ben back in when we have a chance. So, anyway, East has beaten York, Chambersburg, and Cedar Cliff now. And for all intents and purposes, they're tied at the top of the Commonwealth Division with Harrisburg. Let's see, Cumberland Valley. Are they 2-0 maybe?
In the Commonwealth play? Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, they just beat Altoona.
Altoona.
Yeah, but that was
an interesting score. Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, you're good. That was interesting. 13-0.
Real quick, back to CD East. Another thing I want to point out about them is their players look very skilled. Like, was a testament to Lance's him and his staff. Their receivers catch the ball, get vertical. Running backs hit the hole. They're not pressing. They're not getting to the hole too fast. They're running through arm tackles. Their players, they're DBs. They're playing well. You know, their players look very skilled, and they got talent. A good football team. Like, yeah,
they are a good team.
They're a good football team.
You know,
I see something with them.
They got kind of a little bit sloppy there, and I'm sure you saw what I saw, Terry. But I looked at the box score. They only had 7 penalties for 70 yards. That's not terrible. Okay, that's not terrible. It just seemed to all happen at once, like one after the other, and they recovered from it. Now, it's worth mentioning Cedar Cliff missed an extra point.
They did.
Which, that was 2 weeks in a row. They missed an extra point against Central Dauphin. They could have closed Central Dauphin out in regulation and had to go to overtime, and they eventually beat Central Dauphin in overtime. But, you know.
Oh, so that happened 2 weekends in a row. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Central Dauphin, I don't want to say they had the game won, but, you know, Cedar Cliff scored like with a couple of minutes to go in the fourth quarter, but they did have a chance to walk away with the win in regulation, and they missed the extra point. And then they beat CD in the first overtime. So, but yeah, we're going to have some of Coach Dean's guys on our weekly podcast, our weekday podcast. And we're excited for that because it's an exciting time. I went to Central Dauphin, but I went to Southside Elementary, to East Junior, and I kind of grew up in the East High kind of neighborhood and environment, and had a lot of East High friends. So I support their sports programs. I really do, and this is an exciting time for them.
Yeah, and
yes, for sure.
And to piggyback off of what Ben said about East of Skill guys, I want to point out someone in particular that scored in every game so far. Receiver Santana Young, he's looked good in every game. He gives them a big time weapon outside, and he's making a case and making a name for himself as being one of the better receivers.
Yes,
yes,
he is. Okay, so shout out, congratulations to Lance and his guys. And you know what? I don't want to leave Dave Berman hanging on any longer. Let's jump straight to, and we might go back to some District 3 stuff. Let's jump straight to one of the biggest games in the state, which was yesterday, Saturday. Imhotep Charter 28, Chester 24. Dave, tell us a little bit about, first of all, you're a Chester guy. Talk a little bit about the kind of the energy and the emotion in the Chester community for football. They're traditionally a boys basketball school. We know that. What's
we're still competitive in basketball. Just very hard to win a PIAA state championship, and Chester in boys basketball has won 8 of those.
Yeah.
10-time state runner-ups. Football under LaDante Bell. He built the program back, keeping a lot of kids away from the private schools. That's been a big key because we deal with that down here. And building, made the playoffs in 2022, and we lost in the second round there. 2023 last year went to the District 1 championship and lost to Strathaven, which is our bordering town, Wallingford and Chester, in an unbelievable game at Chester High. So they want to take it a step further this year. And it was everybody, a lot of family, new family, several Delco kids on the Imhotep team, including a couple of Chester kids that, played ball in the youth programs in Chester, and a lot of talking before the game, but Chester played well. They were up 18-7 at half, and then Imhotep just found a way to come back and win the game, similar to what Imhotep did last year to Roman Catholic that was the city championship game. Imhotep was down, I think it was about the same score. I think it was like 18-7, 18-6, and they came back to beat Roman and crushed Strathaven in the state semi. So now they're 6A. They came in ranked third in the state, and Chester third in 5A. They found a way to come back and beat Chester, and big credit to their running back, Imhotep, going to Penn State University. Wallace Coleman, Jabri Wallace Coleman, had 3 touchdowns, and he was the difference. And it was a great game, 28-24 Imhotep, and good luck to them the rest of the way. Chester should be favored. They're going to be favored in the rest of their games. They have a very good opportunity to go 9-1, and then we'll see where the District 1 5A rankings are at that time.
Now, we talked about we thought that as a group that 5A is pretty competitive this year. Of course, we have Roman Catholic, Peters Township, the defending state runner-up, Chester, McDevitt, I think will be there, down the stretch. And then don't count out either Pine Richland or Garnett Valley. Dave, do you think 5A is kind of one of those classifications that I don't want to say if it's a coin toss for me, because I think Roman is probably the team to beat. But you know what? You lose to Imhotep Charter by 4 points. Chester might be the team to beat too. That could be a great game.
Well, we won't know until the District 1 tournament starts. Down here, you're going to have Garnet Valley.
Yeah.
For a 5A school, they have almost 100 kids on the team. I don't know how they get numbers. Say they're 5A in football, so they are. They're down there now, and they've had their fits with 2 trips to the state semifinals in 6A over the last 4 years, and they had a run in the St. Joe's Prep, and it was mercy rule at halftime.
They have to be barely 5A, Garnet Valley. You know how like Steel High's barely 2, or no, Archbishop Wood's barely 2A. Aliquippa.
Right.
It's probably they're barely 2A. It's probably the same way with Garnet Valley. They're probably barely 5A.
Yeah, Garnet Valley, even though they've had a lot of success, they actually dropped down to 5A. They are undefeated. We got Strathaven is good again. Lost a lot of guys. We have the running backs back. Springfield Delco is loaded, and Ruston, who gave Chester a very good game with Chase Hatton, their running back in the District 1 playoffs last year. They're back. They're 4th in the state coming in. Garnet Valley 6th. McDevitt 7th. It's Harrisburg Patriots. Strathaven 8th. Springfield Delco 9. So all those teams, I think Springfield Delco and Strathaven have to meet, and Garnet Valley has to meet Springfield, and it's just going to be dog eat dog. We'll see where everybody is. District 1 5A, and again, 6A and 5A. District 1, you win the district championship, you go right to the state semis against either St. Joe's Prep, it looks like, again, unless LaSalle can get them, or Imhotep, and of course Roman is favored to win District 12.
And you know what, Dave? Thank you very much. That was great. You stopped at 9. Guess who number 10 is? 3-0. 3-0. Erie Prep beat West Riverside from Ohio.
I look for Erie Prep and Erie Prep Mifflin County Epic first round state playoff.
Oh my God!
Because,
stop!
Mifflin County's going to turn it around.
Come on, man.
Mifflin County, time out, guys. Time out. Mifflin County is automatically.
A lot of teams to start talking about Mifflin County.
Well, no, they will run into each other.
It was County and Albertsburg set to meet in the District 5A championship game.
They called timeout.
And it's going to be State College and Altoona. And there are only 2 teams in District 6, 5A, 6A. So the winner of that game will play the winner of 5A, Mifflin County at Epic. Mifflin County and Holiday, those towns are going to be crazy. An opportunity to be in the District 6 A district
Dave.
championship game? You
There's
believe
only
that?
2 teams in the district.
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
when are they building the new stadium?
It's being
Yeah,
built
So
right
the winner
now.
of that will play Erie Prep. But what they should do, and I tell that to everybody, district, Altoona, Mifflin County, State College, Hollidaysburg should go through the District
Hollidaysburg,
7 5A tournament.
Yeah.
Mifflin County, Hollidaysburg, Mifflin County, Altoona, State College need to go through District 3.
Right.
Yeah.
I think State
Yeah.
College would be okay with it, wouldn't they?
Oh, they don't care. I feel bad for them because they're going to basically, I mean, State College, Altoona may win, 2 games at the most?
I mean, I don't know. State College, I think, would be fine with it, but I think they kind of like basically getting a
Right.
easy pass.
It is.
To the
It's a
state
pass.
titles. Like it's a
It's a
pass
pass.
for them. I mean, it
an
is what
easy
it
pass.
is. It's
And
an
I
easy
talked-
pass.
Exactly. So they'll play Altoona like a tune-up game,
Yeah.
and then they'll have a bye, I think.
It drops them into the
I was gonna
quarterfinals.
say. So what are they doing during those weeks when the District 3 is playing? So they have 1 or 2 buys in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, they'll
Yep.
have like Erie Prep will probably same situation. They'll probably have 2 weeks off, and then after they'll have trying to think here. State College will probably have at least 1 week off. Or whoever wins.
That's a
Unless
competitive
Altoona
advantage.
shows big improvement, I doubt it though. But it is what it is. And Joe, we've talked about that for a long time.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
Go Huskies, go Mifflin County. I was there for 13 years now.
Dave, I watched that game, buddy. That was against Mechanicsburg. They got a lot of improving to do before they're involved in anything epic.
They won 6 games 2 years ago.
I know.
Yeah.
All right, that's not,
But anyway,
we didn't bring you in here to beat up
anyway,
on you,
Chester,
buddy.
in Chester, it's just going to be dog eat dog down here in District 1.
Yep.
Now, District 3, 6A, you have 8 teams go, right? 8 teams are in
Yes.
the tournament. Who do you
Yes.
think that's going to be? I want to throw that at you guys. It's going to
The
be
8 teams?
Harrisburg, Manheim Township.
Well, for 1 and 2, yes.
I mean,
I think it's clearly they're the 2 best teams in 6A.
and
I
then
think-
after that,
CD
East
East,
High.
East,
Yeah.
yeah, they want
Yeah,
them to say
I
about
do
that.
like East. I do like East High though, so I don't want to count them out
to
yet.
make the top 8.
But-
I think William Penn's kind of probably going to be out of it this year.
Yeah, they're out.
Yeah,
Central
for
York
sure.
will probably qualify.
Yeah, they will.
Kind of
What
looks
about
like
Wilson
Governor
and
Mifflin. Wilson, yes.
Wilson will. Dallastown will.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely those 2. I think Governor Mifflin could be at 7 or 8, something like that.
Are they
Uh,
6A now?
Aren't they 6A now?
I don't know.
They were
I'm not
5
sure
with
about that.
Singleton.
They were 5.
Singleton was there. They were 5.
Yeah.
I think
Right.
they're 6A. I
Well,
was
they're not
looking at
ranked.
I was looking at the.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, Dave, you look it up. Just go into PIAA District 3 power rankings. It'll take
Yeah, they
you right
just
in.
beat. Speaking of them, they just beat Hempfield.
Yeah, and that's not Hempfield's a little down this year. I mean, they're not what they have been the last few years, but that's still a pretty good win for.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
that's
a
a
good
6A. That's a
Yeah.
6A school.
yeah, that's a real game. That's a real
Yep.
win for them. I think we just covered them all. That's probably going to be it. It's not. I mean, we'll see if CV. I mean, I think CV's 2-1. So
I can't figure Cumberland Valley out. Can we talk about though?
yeah. Let's talk. I have that written down here. I have CV with three question marks behind them on my notes.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take this back to last year when they started off very slow and everyone was calling for the coach's head. What's going on? Why are we 0-3? This, that, and the third. And then, as the season progressed, they got better and better and better. This year, they had a really first tough game. They got beat up pretty bad. And then this past weekend they played Altoona and they only won. What was the score? 13-0. 13-0. And that surprised me considering what State College just did to Altoona the week before. So I'm not really sure what to make of Cumberland Valley right now.
And they stuck around with Manheim Township for a good while. They lost by 28. Okay, let's be clear. It was 42-14.
Yes.
But they did. They stuck around for a good while. Manheim Township kind of won going away, as they say. But
Right.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to. I think Oswald's a really good coach, though. I think
absolutely.
if the athletes are there to figure it out and to turn things, well, they're 2-1. Let's face it.
Manheim Township is number 1, right? The
And the power
rankings.
rankings, yeah.
Central Dauphin East number 2. Dallas
Yep.
Town is 3rd.
Yep.
Wilson 4th. Cumberland Valley 5th. Governor Mifflin 6th in 6A. Central York 7th. Waynesboro is 8th.
As of right now.
Harrisburg's 11th.
See,
But-
Harrisburg's got a lot of winning to do now.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
Let's face it, they're gonna win a lot of games in a row here.
Well, yeah, with Harrisburg, speaking of Harrisburg, I mean, their first 3 games were their toughest games on their schedule, so
Right.
now it's just
Absolutely.
about, taking it we got a time approach and cleaning up the mistakes,
Right.
Looks like Chester's
sure-
going to probably run the table. And
Yeah.
well, shout out Dennis Shaw, head coach at Chester, and his staff. Great job. I appreciate the love you're giving the Clippers out there. Appreciate it.
Oh, sure, yeah, we root
Yeah.
for them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're a good team. I really like them a lot. And I
I
like their
coached-
quarterback, Jalen Harris. He's tough.
Jalen and his twin brother Duran, who had 3 interceptions yesterday. Yeah.
I posted the coach's post-game interview on
Oh,
Lingletown
Dennis.
Gazette Sport. Please, if you guys, whoever's viewing right now, if you get a minute, I just did this earlier today, I think, so it's one of the latest posts on Lingletown Gazette Sports page. Check that out. Really, really good interview.
Kirby Lenz is checking in, by the way.
Hey, Kirby, how are you, bud?
Okay. Elias Coates' mom, Carolyn,
Hi, Carolyn.
and Melissa Dalton.
Lebo, you just missed CD. Okay, I don't know. CD 48, Carlisle 0. Okay, we don't mean to miss them. I actually I have that. I had that written down to mention.
Yeah.
I don't know. And again, I'm a CD guy, but we only have so much time here, and we got to kind of focus on some of the higher echelon teams, I guess. But that was a big win for CD.
Yeah.
They kind of took it on the chin the week before. We talked about Cedar Cliff, and that was a tough loss for Central Dauphin against Cedar Cliff. But really went into Carlisle and took care of some business. So hopefully they're back on track, Melissa. Thank you for pointing that out. We really appreciate it.
Hey, Joe, if you want, I printed out the rankings going into this week and how all the teams did. If you guys have a question on a team,
Okay,
the record, how, from the Harrisburg Patriot.
Dave, you're invited every week, buddy. You earned your stripes.
Dave's the GOAT.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You're our District 1 and District 12 guy. And whatever else you want to jump in on, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't want to talk too much, but if
No.
you do have a question about, I got, like St. Joe's Prep, how they did, LaSalle College, I have everything.
So I jotted down just some games of interest. We don't have to talk about them, but if you guys know anything about them or have any opinions on it, Manheim Township 45, York William Penn 0. My understanding is York just doesn't have the athletes this year. It happened. That's really, I think, what's going on at Central Dauphin. They don't have many seniors. They don't have many returning starters.
Well, I think far as York, it's more so they don't have the line. I think they have
York,
some
yeah.
athletes. I think they don't have the
Yeah.
line.
I think in general, York always has athletes. They're one of those schools that will have athletes. It just comes down to, like Ben said, the line play, whether they have the line or they don't. They don't, then you see the score is what it is.
Or just the size in general. Like
I'm including the line as athletes, guys. I mean, I don't think they have the number of quality, experienced players as they've had.
Right.
We can't get these linemen mad at us, guys.
And to be
no,
honest,
'cause it is bad to keep blaming the line. That is true.
That is
that's
true.
really a
No.
cop-out.
We just have to include them when we're talking about athletes. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, they know they're hoggies. The line
Yeah.
know they're hoggies.
Steel
Can't do
High
it.
is 2-1.
Steel High's 2-1. Yeah.
Yep.
So Governor Mifflin 28, Hempfield 23,
Yep.
Central York over Del Val 31-20. Here's a good game. This is one of those games that would be good to sit down and watch. Nazareth 35, Wilson 31. That's kind of Terry. That's kind of a big boy game there,
yeah. So I had that game. I posted as one of the games of the week for me. That I was curious to see how it would pan out. And to be honest, I really thought that Nazareth would win by a bigger margin than that. So I was kind of a little surprised by the end result of the game, but they still won. A win's a win. Nazareth, from what I understand, they have a pretty solid group. I know they have a Division I quarterback that's headed to Virginia Tech. Well, he committed to Virginia Tech. Let me backstep.
Right.
He committed to Virginia Tech. They have a D1 running back as well. So they got some athletes up there in District 11. But I was curious to see how Wilson would handle them. And once again, Wilson's one of those teams, a solid program. You put them anywhere, they show up and they'll play. They'll make it a game. Even if you don't think that they should, they will.
Have you ever met their coach?
The coach, Wilson's coach? Not personally.
Doug Doms, yeah.
What an awesome guy he is. What a legend.
See, that's where I don't like having the Commonwealth, and it's not just the Commonwealth. There's a couple of divisions now in the Mid-Penn where you have so many teams in the division that you lose those. This is the third week in a row I've mentioned this, but Central Dauphin and Wilson used to play like every year, and man, they would be good, really good games. And I don't know if we're going to see that anymore. I don't know what's going to happen after they're done playing Central York, but maybe they'll go back to them. But I kind of like having 2 or 3 non-league games, man. That's just to me, it's kind of more alluring. You can even develop. I think you can even develop rivalries. Even if you're not in the same league. If you're playing every year, home and home. How about Lampeter Strasburg and Cocalico? 35-14 Lampeter Strasburg. Cocalico lost in the state semifinal last year.
Yep.
So that's a traditional power, Cocalico.
Yep.
And Lampeter Strasburg, they're good almost every year.
Every year. And once again, they're going to be good again, and I think that they're going to be a contender for the 4A district championship, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say that Cocalico, they're the back-to-back 5A District 3 champs. Was a little surprised by the margin of victory. However, Cocalico is one of those teams that, as the year goes on, they get better and better. And a lot of that goes out to the type of offense they run, which is a triple option.
Mm-hmm.
So, as we know, it's hard to prepare for. Ben can tell you himself because he would know better than all of us. It's very, very hard to prepare for that.
And going back to Cocalico versus Lampeter Stroudsburg, like you said, 4A is Lampeter Stroudsburg, and that'll be a matchup Susquehanna Township will probably see. Down the stretch if they want to win a title. And they look good this week again against Boiling Springs. Now,
61-10, I think.
Upcoming week, they play Westbury. Westbury's 3-0, so that might be something to look forward to.
So I did want to talk about that a little bit as well.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Susquehanna had a pretty big win. That wasn't really, I'm pretty sure we all expected them to win by a nice margin, which they did. They took care of business. But I do want to point out though that the receiving core, the trio that they have, they are very, very good, very talented.
It's not all Lex Cyrus. Great point.
It's not all
Lex Cyrus. Yeah.
And I think the Mid-Penn, the District 3, the entire state needs to recognize that because they have a trio of receivers that are really, really good.
Yes, they do. I thought it was kind of again, we don't want to discount Boiling Springs. We don't want to build them up too much. But you scored 61 points. I thought that was kind of a statement win, where we see what they're capable of. That kind of win. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I think the quarterback, Torrin Evans, I think he completed like 14 passes, 14 for 17 or something like that for like 400 yards. It was crazy.
Yeah.
His stats were crazy. So that tells you what it is.
Yeah.
But we got, like you said, they got Westbury coming up, and then that Trinity game, I'm gonna keep talking about it. That's gonna be a game, man.
Ooh, boy.
Yeah. Now I think the Westbury game, it should be an interesting matchup. I think overall, I can't see Westbury being able to stop there offensively. So coming into the game, I'm pretty sure their game plan is to try to make it low scoring, one possession going into the fourth quarter type game if they can. But at the end of the day, I think that's going to be very difficult to stop the Hannah offense right now because they're hot.
Yeah.
However, Westbury, one thing about them, I'm not quite sure how much they've returned from the last 2 seasons teams that they had, which were really, really good teams. But one thing I know for sure, the coach out there, he does a good job. Yes.
Boger.
Coach Boger, he's a really, really good coach, and he gets the most out of what he has. So they'll be prepared. It should be interesting.
And where is that game?
It's at Hannah.
Okay.
It's at
All
Hannah.
right. Because I know that
What,
they
you talking
play
about
at
the Trinity
Trinity.
Hannah game?
No, we're talking
No,
about
no,
the
no.
West Perry this week. The Trinity
Oh,
Hannah
West
game
Perry.
is like week 8 or
Is
9.
that Westbury or Hannah? Is it at
I'm not
Westbury?
sure what the game is this week.
Okay.
I do know that the Hannah Trinity game later in the close to the end of the season, the regular season, is at Trinity. So then the last one I have kind of jotted down here, and Dallastown 35, Manheim Central nothing.
Yes.
Manheim Central has had 2 losses, 2 blowout losses.
Yep.
Ephrata and Dallastown. They lost to Ephrata by 17.
Yeah.
I kind of, my definition of a blowout, if you lose by 3 scores and 17 is 3 scores, you got blown out. That's just my definition. But what happened? What's going on with Manheim Central? Have they fallen victim to that one season where they just don't have the guys? Or is that what it is there too?
I think it's safe to say that that's what's going on there. It's kind of hard to believe, considering their history over the years. But I think it's finally hitting them. So they're a little down this year.
If I'm not mistaken, don't they have the most district titles in District 3 history?
I believe you're right.
Yes,
I believe you're
I'm
right.
saying.
Followed
So
by
they're never really down like that. But this year they are.
Valley, yeah. There's a handful, but I think Manheim Central is
They're
at the top. Maybe 19 or something like that.
At the top.
Yeah, it's definitely over 16.
So how about this? Let's talk about since we're kind of talking about District 3 here,
Yep.
I printed out some brackets, and it's interesting because sometimes you never get a free pass. Okay, you got to win games to get to the state championship, but sometimes your paths are easier than other times. And if we start at 6A, let me ask you this: how does District 1? First of all, District 11 has to play District 12 in the quarterfinals, right, Dave? You can jump in here.
Yeah.
Which they hate.
My gosh, that could be Nazareth, who we just talked about. Nazareth, or there's a couple, but why don't they ever flip flop that? Dave, do you have any understanding of why they don't? They did years ago. Remember the one year Harrisburg beat Coatesville in 2018. Yeah. But then ever since then,
they never switched it again. I don't know why.
Maybe they should just separate them altogether.
I'm a District 3 guy. Okay, I would much rather my team, meaning Harrisburg, Central York, Central, whoever it is from around, be able to avoid St. Joe's Prep till the end, or Aliquippa.
Yeah,
Joe,
absolutely.
you have a lot of pull PIAA.
What's that? You. No, I don't have no pull. No pull. Whoever's listening at home, Dave's joking. I have no pull. But I just think that, again, it's not a pass. We don't get a pass because you have to beat North Allegheny or Pitt Central Catholic. But it's a little easier for our team to get to a state championship. That's for sure.
I think you make a good point, and they should go back to the rotational, like switching it up, because it's tough, man. I feel for the District 11 teams, year after year after year. Woo. They think they have a really good team, but who's waiting for them at the finish line.
And Terry, you can do cycles. You don't have to go year after year after year, like switch it every year, Right. But do maybe a couple 2-year cycle or 3-year cycle. At least at the end of that 2 or 3 years, it kind of like that weight's going to be lifted, and you might have a better chance,
Right.
Well, we know what we're dealing with down here.
Based off geography, I think it makes sense. Like if
I don't
it
think
does. I mean, it does, but
I don't think geography has anything to do with it, though. And you're right, Ben. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. But if you look at all these other brackets, I could show you a lack of geographical concern on these other brackets. 5A.
In District 1, we're going to have 6A champ in District 1. I'm hoping it's Coatesville. I know Downingtown West is really good too. Central Bucks South.
Well, CB South is the one that, for what it's worth, they're ranked like second or third in the state.
Number 2.
Yeah, they're ranked number 2 in the state. They just beat Upper Dublin 33-7.
And whoever wins that, Joe, is going to run into either Imhotep St. Joe's Prep or LaSalle College.
Right. And I don't think this year will be as easy for St. Joe's Preps. Yeah, they should be a little beat up. Even if they make it through, they should be a little more beat up more than usual this year, for sure.
They won 44-16 over Erasmus Hall from New York.
Very good team. That's a really good team they beat up.
Are they?
St. Joe's Prep, yeah.
What about this? North Allegheny beat Penn Hills by 4. And Susquehanna Township beat Penn Hills in the opening week 1, not week 0. But that either makes a statement for Susquehanna Town. Again, it's 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
It's not all about who beats who. I know that. But that either means that North Allegheny is a little bit vulnerable, or that was a really good win for Susquehanna Township, you know?
Yep.
Harrisburg's got to be, I don't want to say licking their chops because there's a lot of football left to play, but wouldn't you rather have to go up against North Allegheny or maybe Pitt Central Catholic than St. Joe's Prep, Imhotep, or Roman Catholic? Or, I'm sorry.
Well, you can't avoid
LaSalle College. LaSalle College. Yeah. It's always nice though, man. It's like popping that pimple, man. Once you get to the state championship game, you kind of like exhale a little bit, right, Dave? You know what I mean? You got there. You know, you got all the articles in the paper and online are going to be about you and your guys, and I don't think anybody like the elephant in the room now is that Cal has lost 3 state championships. I say that Cal has led his team to 3 state championships. Okay,
pretty damn impressive.
It's very impressive. Yeah, I don't play that, man. If you get your team to a state championship game in 6A, any classification, and you lose to St. Joe's Prep, man, that's just, you did something. You had a very successful season.
You know how hard it is to win a PIAA.
I was just about to say that. Just about to say that. It's very difficult with the inclusion of District 12 now. It is very difficult to win
the state title. District 1, the last team to win a PIAA state championship.
Strathaven.
No, a little bit sooner than that, but it's
Mount Lebanon.
That's 7, District 7.
School, Lansdale Catholic.
Oh, man, I wouldn't have gotten that one.
Yeah, me neither.
And then North Penn won it a couple years before.
They have really good girls basketball there. Lansdale
Strathaven is the only.
Oh, wait, what was the question?
What was the PIAA state championship? Strathaven won it 99.
The District 1 team.
The last District 1
team to win a state title.
2004.
Okay.
District 1 at any level.
Yeah.
Dave, we need a trivia question out of you every week.
2004.
Can you do that? One
that's kind of crazy.
Dave, you have your pen and your notepad. We're gonna tell you what we need from you. Yeah, that was good. That was a good question.
I can show you.
No, we believe you, buddy.
I know you know that. There's no doubt about that.
Teams in the state semis, we had Garnet Valley twice, we had Central Buck South twice, we had Strathaven twice in the last 3 years, and they got blown out by Imhotep, Mercy ruled. It was just rough.
Yep.
So, upcoming games. You guys have anything circled on your calendars?
I'm trying to.
I
haven't really looked.
Well,
for this
I know.
Juncture in the season where it's kind of like that middle, and that doesn't mean there's no good games, but you know what I'm talking about.
Who does McDevitt play?
They play Cedar Cliff.
Wow, the more things change, the more they stay the same, huh?
Right. Yeah, it's a familiar foe. So Cedar Cliff has to knock off that tough loss and get ready for McDevitt. So
I mean, McDevitt has to keep winning because, what East High has remaining and what Harrisburg has remaining are the complete opposites. Harrisburg already beat, arguably the other 2 best teams in McDevitt and State College, and East does not play State College, McDevitt, or Harrisburg till weeks 8, 9, and 10.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a completely flip-flopped for those 2.
Down here, an unbelievable game on Friday night.
What's that?
Here. Okay, Roman Catholic takes on Malvern.
Oh, yes.
Prep.
Wow.
At
who LaSalle College just beat 18-14, I think, a couple weeks ago.
Malvern Prep.
21-17.
21-17.
Beat Malvern Prep, a younger Malvern Prep team. So that's going to be Malvern Prep's non-PIAA, but they play a lot of PIAA schools. So that's the game here, 7:00 at Malvern Prep this coming Friday night. Roman will see what they have that night. gets tougher and tougher. You got LaSalle College coming up. You're gonna have St. Joe's against LaSalle College, St. Joe's Prep against Roman.
Yeah.
those-
I'm
Go
gonna
ahead.
make note that another game that I know. Well, we already talked about it. 2-3 undefeated teams, Susquehanna Township versus Westbury. That's the game I think around here. I would have to look a little bit more into it as far as District 3 to find another game. But off the top, that game stands out. And Imhotep, again, they're back at it. They play, which is crazy. They play East St. Louis out of Chicago.
Ooh.
So that's a big time game right there.
Yeah, it is.
That's a huge game. So it should be interesting to see how they match up versus them.
That's a
Terry, you know
big
where
time.
that game is?
I'm not sure.
I'm guessing it's at a neutral site, Dave.
I'm pretty sure it's at a neutral site, though. I'm pretty sure.
Too bad we can't do this for basketball, Joe. That'd be pretty cool, man.
Oh, we are doing it for basketball.
Okay, keep me in
I
mind.
already got I'm working on my crew, man.
Because Imhotep is now.
I got Ty Sabercool already. He's gonna Terry, you gonna be hanging around for basketball too?
Yeah, when I can.
He's probably thinking I got to get away from this guy.
When I can.
Yeah,
Go to high
okay,
school,
all right.
Terry. Terry, where'd you go to high school?
Oh, I went to Susquehanna as well. I went to
When'd you
Susquehanna
graduate?
like that. 2008.
Okay, you were okay.
Yep.
Vince Rogers, my man.
Yep.
All right, Imhotep.
Yeah,
So-
I'm pretty sure it's a neutral site. I don't know exactly where though.
Are you working the book for your dad?
Most likely, yeah.
You got a chance to see a lot of great basketball last year, didn't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Isn't that fun, man? That
Best
is
seat in the
fun.
house.
I'm the
Yeah.
public address announcer for Central Dolphin Girls. I'm entering my 10th year.
Wow.
And be honest with you, I didn't really want to do it. You know what I mean? Like I thought, why do I want to do something like it's a blast.
Now you love it. You
I
love it now.
love it. You're
Yeah.
sitting right there in center court side.
Right.
It doesn't say where the game's going to be at, guys.
I seen someone posted. I can't find it. I'll find it again and then post it in the
And then
chat.
after that, Prep will roll with they'll beat Lincoln, John Bartram, Northeast, Martin Luther King, and Bratz.
Okay, so I think we've covered about as much as we can. Dave, anything else from you, buddy?
That's it, man. But just keep an eye on our Delco teams in 5A. Besides Chester, you've got Garnet Valley, who beat Coatesville earlier, 6-18, beat them up pretty good. Strathaven, Springfield, Delco, these teams, these Central League teams, county teams, they love the misdirection plays, the veer, the option. It's just so hard to defend, man. It's hard. That's why they're so tough to be. Very methodical football. Chester is like Harrisburg. It's more like run and gun football.
Right.
You know. So anyway, it's keep an eye on District 1-5A.
So before I let the guys go here, I want to once again remind you, or just let you know if you missed the beginning of the show. This coming Thursday, we have a weekly podcast, which isn't all football, but it's a lot of football right now. We're gonna have 4 of the East High guys on, and you know what? I can even tell you who they're going to be. We're gonna have Damaj Jala, Jared Porter, Santana Young, and Leon Parson. They're going to be our guests this coming Thursday. And then a week from tomorrow, which is Monday the 16th, we're going to have these are some star girls soccer players. Caden Williams, Katie Reynolds, and Erica Murphy from Central Dolphin Girls Soccer. They just got a big win over Cumberland Valley on Friday. And then we're working on getting Cal to get some of his guys. That's going to happen here soon. So we got a lot going on here with this Gazette Sports Chat. And I got the best experts. You guys don't mind if I refer to you as experts, do you? Because let me tell you something.
I like to refer to myself as a connoisseur.
Oh, dude.
More so connoisseur.
Yes.
So we got 3 experts and a connoisseur.
Yeah.
Dave, what do you want to go by?
Yeah. I like that too.
What do you want to go by?
My nickname?
Yeah.
I'm contacting one of the Imhotep parents
Okay.
that I know.
Oh, you're trying to
OG
find the
Bobby,
game where
whose
the
son
game
is
at.
Jordan Smith,
Yeah.
one of the studs. He's a junior for them. Asking about where that Imhotep game is going to be played. Anyway, what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Well, Ben's going by. He's a connoisseur. Terry's
Okay.
an expert. Terry's an
Me?
expert. I'm sure Travis will be okay with expert. What do you want to go? What do you want to be referred to as?
Just call me Voice of Delco.
That's it. He's the voice
Yes,
of
sir.
Delco, the voice of
Hey,
Delaware
voice.
County.
The voice.
Dave's the voice of the streets. He's the voice.
Yeah,
Of
yeah. So let me just say
the
So East St. Louis is coming here.
Oh, so
Oh,
they're
so they are
playing.
coming up
Coming
here.
here to play Imhotep at one of the super sites.
Okay.
Ah, see, I might have to make that trip down.
So
I
still
might have to.
neutral-ish, but
Yeah.
way closer
well,
to.
I would
yeah.
imagine that's probably on a Saturday, so definitely might have
Yeah.
to make that.
So
It says
anyway,
7 o'clock at night.
let me thank our sponsors again before we break off here. Rickabas Electric. He's my electrician. He's done a lot of great work for me. Payer Apparel. Larry Bragg. I got to get T-shirt sizes for everybody. I think I asked you guys a couple weeks ago, Terry. I don't know if you ever got back to me, but if
Yeah,
you
I
guys-
didn't. I'll get that to you.
If you guys get me T-shirt sizes, these Payer Apparel, they're good heavy-duty T-shirts, by the way. Ted's Bar and Grill, Freedom Financial Wealth Management, Tonino's Pizza, Crystal Bob at Howard Hanna Real Estate, Team PA AAU Basketball, Sam Hartley Decking, American Legion Post 272, Hoffman Ford, the Tire Mart, Modern Imprint, Capital Region Insurance Agency, and Underdog Sports Bar and Grill. And let's see this side. Thank you to Coach Calvin Everett. He put me in touch with defensive coordinator Jesse Harr's wife Betsy, and I got a complimentary Dark Side T-shirt for the Orchard Street studio. That thing looks nice. I like that a lot. So I really appreciate it, guys. So for Terry Clark Jr., Ben Dupree, and Dave Berman, I'm Joe Gilloway. There we go. Oh man, you earned your way back, Dave.
Yes, sir.
You're a new regular.
Have a good week, guys.
Okay. Well, thanks a lot, guys. Take
Yeah.
care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
fellas. Take care.
All right.